days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
Breaking World Cup news coming in. US men's national team striker Flo Balogun's red card one-match suspension has been suspended by FIFA. The red card was received during the round of 32 match against Bosnia and Herzegovina and would have caused the striker to miss out against their upcoming match against Belgium. So Balogun is now available to play in tomorrow's match. FIFA issued the following statement, which reads in part, in line with Article 27 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code, the implementation of the match suspension is suspended for a probationary period of 1 year. If Balogun commits another infringement of a similar nature and gravity during the probationary period, the suspension shall be revoked and the sanction enforced without prejudice to any additional sanction imposed for the new infringement. Mike Lahoud is here to discuss. Mike, this is crazy, isn't it? Obviously, this is amazing news for the US men's national team, but what's your reaction to how we got here?
I mean, Poppy, my mind is blown right now, and I think every single person tuning in, every single person hearing this news, you and I had the same reaction. Our jaws are on the ground because I've never seen anything like this happen in our recent memory at a FIFA World Cup. This is, in my opinion, the biggest off-field decision, the biggest off-field news at this World Cup, and one of the biggest ones in the history of the game in the VAR era. So there's two schools of thought in this for me. If you're a U.S. soccer fan, as you said, or U.S. football fan, you will be over the moon. Because for me, Flo Balogun has been the best player for the U.S. men's national team. But this is dangerous territory for me. In the beginning, I've always said this, it was never a red card. Yes, you could argue dangerous play, but common sense tells you that never should have gone to the monitor. I stand by this. They got the call wrong from the beginning. But now this is where it becomes dangerous, because if you can make this call, I'm saying this as a neutral, not as someone who's an advocate for U.S. soccer. If you make this call, I'm curious what other calls FIFA is willing to make in the knockout round of the World Cup.
We've got loads of reactions coming in for you. Let's just welcome in Paul Tenario, who's with the US men's national team amidst all of their camp and training. Paul, good to see you. What is your reaction to this, and what are you hearing with the latest as everybody's timelines are flooded with information?
Yeah, I mean, quite a surprising morning, to put it lightly. You know, we found out basically on our way into training, as the players did too. They were on the team bus when they found out the news, and so it's just been kind of a scramble and a reaction to that. Since then, you know, I'm still reporting, The Athletic is still reporting, talking to different sources about how this decision was made. But we can say that U.S. soccer was involved in the process, and obviously we've also seen you know, numerous other sources coming out and kind of speculation about what could have been involved here. But it's huge and surprising news, and the players are talking about how surprised they are. They really did not know until they were on the team bus on the way in today.
Paul, this is significant. As I said before, this is one of the biggest news I've seen off the pitch at a World Cup in recent memory. What's been the mood, not just amongst the players who you alluded to, but amongst staff? And have you been able to talk with Mauricio Pochettino?
Pochettino did not come over to where the media were. Chris Richards and Alex Freeman, Christian Pulisic all came over. Obviously, all of them in very good moods. There's kind of a light spirit to the group. It's nothing super celebratory that you see going on. In fact, in every other way, it kind of feels business as usual. You know, when we were out there, the players were just kind of walking around. Some players are doing some stuff to prepare for practice. Other players are just kind of hanging out as they do every other training session. So it wasn't like we saw, you know, champagne bottles being popped or anything like that. Like, I was kind of surprised that the mood in general seemed very calm on that side of the field. On the media side of the field, it was complete chaos. Everyone's scrambling around. And I think a lot of the staffers were also scrambling to be able to kind of communicate to us what was happening. But yeah, like, you looked across the field at the players and it was kind of very calm. And Chris Richards said, business as usual. We've been training all week like it's the same. Obviously, Christian Pulisic said we've tried different tactical looks as well, but it's business as usual no matter who's playing.
Really interesting, Paul. You said US Soccer is involved. Obviously, we've seen the White House tweet out as well. What is the involvement with US Soccer? What's the latest you can tell us on that front?
Well, what we can say is that they were involved in the process. For sure involved in the process. Now, we have not been able to confirm the White House's involvement to this point. Obviously, we've seen what you guys have seen, which is President Donald Trump put out thank you to FIFA for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice. But beyond seeing that statement from him, we haven't confirmed anything official, at least from US Soccer or the White House, involving, as far as it goes, their involvement in this decision.
Paul, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this, and I think Poppy and I are in the same school of thought. We've never seen this, right? When you look at moving forward, how big and how seismic of a shift now is this in terms of rules, in terms of FIFA going back and making rulings like this? Because I still stand by this. This is very dangerous territory. As much as I want to say it's a big win for the U.S., this opens a potential Pandora's box, no?
Yeah, I mean, what I've been interested to see is that my reaction from my friends who are American fans on social media, they don't care, right? They're like, we don't care if this is a bad look. We don't care. We're happy with the decision. We're going for it. We're celebrating it. We're good with it. And then there's pretty much the everyone else reaction, which is like, this isn't good. This is setting a bad precedent, which it is. How did this decision get made? How transparent is FIFA going to be about how this decision was made? Obviously, we saw that a decision was made before this World Cup with Cristiano Ronaldo to suspend 2 games of his 3-game suspension. This feels somewhat similar to that. When is FIFA going to be picking and choosing how to make these decisions? The difference between the Ronaldo one and this one is Balogun isn't going to serve his red card suspension. Ronaldo did serve that first game of the 3-game suspension. So, yeah, certainly something interesting to talk about how this influences what FIFA's role is in on-field discipline going forward.
So true. So well said, Paul. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Speaking of all the ruling, now we're going to welcome in our Christina Uncle, our rules expert, to try and break this down for us. Christina, good to see you. As Mike said, it kind of now brings out Pandora's box, doesn't it, with what we'll see maybe in the future. What can you tell us from the rules perspective?
Yeah, and I think you guys hit, and I'll hit on the Pandora's box. But for everyone to understand, and I want to, make sure this distinction is important, is that the referee's decision was not overruled. So all the prior analysis that you got from whether it's referee analysts, whether it's from tournament, even FIFA officials saying that it could not be suspended, that is still true. The suspension still exists. To your point, Poppy, as you stated, Article 20 is what's suspending the suspension, and it's not exactly the same as, Ronaldo's suspension that everyone's talking about, because that was due to violent conduct leading into the World Cup. This was a suspension, or the red card that was given during the tournament, which comes with an automatic suspension according to the rules. And why that's important, because this is a case of first impression. This isn't the first time we've seen it. And the argument isn't whether or not the FIFA Disciplinary Committee has the ability or the discretionary opportunity to do this. They do have the power and the authority to do this. The question comes back to, and Mike, I think you alluded to it, why did they do this? What is the transparency to it? What is the process to it? What's the explanation? What are the circumstances? Who can do this? When can you apply to do this? So now you're re-refereeing refereeing the game and now re-refereeing the VAR decision and now you're re-refereeing the sanctioning decision. Like, at what time do we stop the re-refereeing of everything? And that's really where the question and the communication comes from. And when there's no explanation from FIFA's disciplinary committee, merely just the ruling, it creates a vacuum. And that's when you start to get speculation and then the breakdown of the foundation and the trust in the organization of FIFA.
I think I'm more confused than when the ruling was actually made, Pop, because what you're saying makes my head spin. So can you take us back through Article 27, because that seems to be what's in question, and that seems to be the ruling that FIFA has said, hey, this is what we're going to use as kind of the nuts and bolts of why we made this decision.
Yeah, no. So Article 27, as you see it right there, is a very, very, just to simplify it, very broad discretionary power and authority in this committee to be able to make decisions, right? We've seen it already in this tournament in the Canada-Qatar game when they upgraded the suspension for that player to 5 games, right? And then there's an appeal process for that. So we've seen them already interacted and already instating this. So this disciplinary committee, for lack of a better term, pretty much has a unilateral authoritarian ability to make a decision, but they are not required to explain their decisions. And that is really where the crux of the matter comes to, of what are we talking about and how can that be used? So their broad discretion allows them to be able to impact this. They're allowed to make decisions that one would, you would consider, and you can kind of speculate, okay, so in this situation, and once again, I hate to use the word speculate because we're doing journalism, but at the end of the day, what can they be using this for? And they're going to say, is it something that's very, very unfair, in the respect that if the entire world has determined, and we all agree that this should not be a red card. I mean, there's still some people who don't think so, but we lean to the side that that should have been yellow card. Then the question is the injustice so unfair that the discretionary disciplinary committee determined they can use their, incredible powers to do so, but then at what point and who gets to determine when that uses? And that's why I continue to emphasize the importance is the transparency and the explanation, which will not be coming.
Which is interesting, isn't it? Because I think from the outside looking in, Christina, you just accept that in World Cup competition, you can't rescind red cards, right? In a domestic league, we see it all the time. A red card's given, and then we see maybe the amount of game suspension change, or we see it rescinded altogether. That hasn't necessarily been the case, like you said. What does this mean now moving forward for the rest of this tournament and maybe the tournaments to come? Will they be forced to come out and give their statements and give their opinion to why they're overturning or re-suspending, if that's the right word for it? Or is this just going to continue how this has played out?
Just leaning on historical information and how FIFA kind of approaches this, I would not expect them to come out with an explanation. We would advocate and like for that to be the case. But now, if I'm acting here as a federation state and I have a controversial red card decision, and we know that you can't, quote unquote, appeal a red card decision when it comes to a subjective interpretation of a referee, why not try to use this other second, vehicle to try to get things suspended? So now this is where you are leaning heavily into the slippery slope, because if you're not going to be given an explanation, whether in the rest of this tournament or FIFA tournaments, not just the Men's World Cup, but the Women's World Cup, the Youth World Cups, any FIFA sanctioned event, then I would advocate, and now I'm just going to put my lawyer hat, that you should always try to use and tap into both of the systems to fight any controversial red cards.
Now, this decision impacts not just the U.S. men's national team, Flo Balogun, Mauricio Pochettino, and the rest of the team, but the team that they're going to face in Rudy Garcia and Belgium. I mean, what grounds do Belgium have? We haven't heard from them yet, but what grounds will they have, or should they have, or can they have to file a complaint?
Yeah, it's no surprise that you could, as you just heard Paul talk, right? Everyone's scrambling on the side outside of on the pitch, but everyone who works off the pitch to say, how could this have happened? You better believe that, they're bringing in their advocates, right? I'm not going to use the word attorney, but their advocates to basically try to repetition this. But once this statement comes out, it's not going to be reversed in time for the game. They can try to, and once again, we're sitting here speculating because once again, it's a disciplinary committee. It's broad discretion. We use the word injunctive, right? It's a harm. It's what we call an irreparable harm that can't be fixed post. I know, sorry, there's a lot of big words, but at the end of the day, like if you're Belgium, you're sitting here, you're filing a complaint, but you should operate on the basis that you don't think that this is going to be overturned in time for the game. You should begin to prepare to play with Balogun and how your system is going to be set into it. And this is going to be something that is bigger and beyond than just the upcoming game, but it's going to continue. You'll see some of this discretion, and hopefully we, whether or not that comes out in CAS, which is the arbitration of sport that is held in Switzerland. That's where these types of decisions can end up going if they don't determine it within. That's where I do think that this could come with Belgium in the future if there is no answer given to them, that it's a fair answer.
So, Christina, I just want to confirm one thing, right? So they didn't rescind the red card that Balogun received. All they did was suspend the suspension, right? I'm saying that correctly. So that means, really, that Balogun is not going to serve this suspension unless he commits another foul of a similar nature, when then he'll serve this suspension and whatever he gets for that. So how does that actually make sense, the fact that he still received the red card, but he didn't receive the punishment for receiving the red card?
It doesn't make sense, Poppy. Let's just say that is the most simplest side of it. It doesn't make sense. And then that's where Article 27 comes in, saying we have the ability, the rights, and the powers to kind of create what we need to create and not explain it. And that is the grave concern here. Doesn't make sense when you don't have logic, when you don't have consistency. And this is coming from a referee. Everyone always argues for referees to be consistent. We also need the judicial process, or at least the process within FIFA's governing body, to be consistent. So we here as media, as fans, as predictability, aren't sitting here saying, what just happened and is this even possible? And right now FIFA's saying it's possible and you better accept it. And that's where the major concern comes from.
Interesting. Okay, Christina, thanks so much. We appreciate the breakdown. So that is all the kind of behind the scenes for FIFA and the rules implemented. What it means for the US men's national team is happy days. And Charlie Davies is going to be more than happy now, because, Charlie, this means Flo is available for tomorrow night's match. How big is this for Pochettino's side?
Poppy, when I saw this news come through, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a prank. This is an absolute massive lift for the United States men's national team. I can't tell you how much joy it brought to my face. And I understand, Christina, Uncle's, I guess, explanation of how this is a slippery slope, and how, you know, there really isn't an understanding from FIFA's standpoint of why you're allowed to do this 24 hours before, you know, a massive match like this in the knockout stages. But I will say, hearing from a number of people across this country, that shouldn't have been a red card. And coming from me personally, that's never a red card. In this game, that is never a red card challenge. And by the way, the referee on the field, who actually saw the challenge, witnessed the challenge, did not even deem it a yellow card offense. So for VAR to intervene, for me, they're re-refereeing. It's never a red card. We never want to see that play be issued a red card in general. So in the end, justice wins.
Yeah, Chuck, it shows how big news is when you're either coming from the Cape or wherever you're coming from. I know that to get you to come on air to talk about this just shows the importance of it. But just coming off the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, 4th of July, this could be a potential national holiday, the 5th of July. That's how big this ruling is. For you on the pitch, Chuck, how significant and how does this change things for the U.S. men's national team in attack against the Belgium side that they can be gotten at, and defensively they look vulnerable?
Yeah, I mean, take a look at the U.S. men's national team midfield, for instance. Malik Tillman is up there with the best in the world in this tournament. Christian Pulisic, who hasn't even yet hit gear 5, is still, I'd say, hovering around the potential to be that Christian Pulisic that we all expect him to be in the knockout stages, you know, that defining moment. So it's almost like he's simmering, right? Because he only had 45 minutes. What a start to the first 45 minutes of this World Cup against Paraguay. The calf issue, he's out a game and a half. He comes back. Now it feels like he's warming up. So I couldn't have been more proud of his performance in the second half, especially when they went down a man against Bosnia. It showed real maturity. It showed real leadership. So I was thrilled with Christian in that instance. Tyler Adams has been phenomenal from minute 1 to this match heading up against Belgium. I absolutely love everything he's done for the U.S. men's national team, setting the tone, covering all the cracks. If there have been some leaks in some of these performances, Tyler Adams cleans everything up. Just a phenomenal player. And then Weston McKennie, what can't we say about him? He's played every single match for the U.S. men's national team in this World Cup, box to box, in terms of line-breaking passes, up there with the best in this tournament. So I'm thrilled. But when you're talking about the 9, they're even Ricardo Pepi, just doesn't come close to what Balogun gives you when we're talking about peak Balogun. We're talking about a number 9, full of confidence. He shows his verticality, his belief in the final third, being able to play in tight spaces within and out of the box. I've just been thrilled with his progress as a true striker this year. And when you're talking about his understanding of the teammates and their tendencies, now the team knows how to get the most out of him, and vice versa. He understands the player's tendencies and which player is going to serve it, how they're going to serve it, which spaces to get into. So that's a massive, massive difference when you're talking about a guy who can really finish when you need him to get on to the next round. So Lahoud, you're spot on when you're talking about a player that there is no plan B really without Balogun. You need him at the tip of the spear when you're talking about progressing into the next round.
Charlie, speaking of the next round, I want to put you on the spot and ask you a question. Without Balogun, did you have the US going through? And now with Balogun, how much does that change things? Would you have them going through now, and would you have before without him?
Poppy, great question. I had the US beating Belgium without Balogun. I don't think Belgium have been convincing. And Lahoud, you've seen just the, I don't want to say demise, but definitely an aging Belgian side that it's almost playing without the energy and without the clinical side of things that we've normally been accustomed to seeing from Belgium. I look at Lissandro Trossard, who's their best player at the moment, and you know, we kind of know what Trossard can give you, but with Lukaku, who can't give you more than 60 minutes, let alone a start, you know, he just can't move. But given an opportunity, he'll make you pay, as we saw in the 86th minute against Senegal. And then Kevin De Bruyne is just not the Kevin De Bruyne of old. He can't run from box to box and dribble past 3 players and come up with a magical pass or a magical finish. That's just not in his game anymore. So when you're watching Belgium throughout this World Cup, you're saying, they're nearly not inspiring like they may have in the past. Whereas the U.S., it feels like they're just getting better, and they've played different types of games, and they've managed to figure out a way to one, get a result, but also to neutralize the opponent in whatever strength they have. So I will be full of confidence, Poppy. I'll never guarantee anything, but I will say I am in full belief that this U.S. team will move on to the quarterfinals.
I love the confidence, and Pop, I think he's right. I think this changes the pendulum significantly. But I want to flip it around from the Belgian perspective. You and I have been in locker rooms. We've been part of squads where wrong decisions or egregious decisions or right decisions get made before a ball is kicked, right? How much of a fire is this going to light in Belgium's belly? And just give us a player's perspective looking at the opposition.
I don't think it's going to light a fire in their belly, Lahoud. They're just trying to prove a point that they can get to the quarterfinals, they can get to a semifinals, but they've been uninspiring. So you're thinking about, okay, when can we flip that switch and be the Belgium that everyone knows us to be? And that means, you know, a Tillemans and an Onana and a KDB thriving in the midfield and dictating possession and tempo. We just haven't seen that. They're a team right now that, for me, they'll give you chances, and we know they have quality, but defensively they can be exposed. We saw that with Senegal on multiple occasions. So that with Egypt on multiple occasions. We even saw that with New Zealand. And so when I look at this team with Belgium, sure, they'll have a point to prove. Sure, these are a lot of these guys' last chance at playing in a World Cup. So you obviously want to go out on a positive. But when you know that the U.S. is getting their difference maker back, it gives the U.S. an emotional boost, and it also puts Belgium in a weird position because they're saying, oh, well, the focus goes from let's just do our thing to why do they get that advantage? Why does Balogun get to come back in? He got a red card. He shouldn't be allowed to play, regardless if they think it's right or wrong. So now you're forcing Belgium to start asking these questions, and it's a distraction rather than, you know, something that you can rally against and get, hey, it's FIFA against the world. It's everyone against Belgium. Let's use that mentality. So if anything, Rudy Garcia, the manager, has to be a little bit better with his decision making, has to get these guys playing on the front foot and not so much sitting back and defending and looking to counter, because that may have worked against Senegal in just, let's say, in the last 10 minutes of the game, because Senegal botched their tactics and should have kept the pressure on Belgium. I think when you're looking at Mauricio Pochettino and how he has motivated these guys, how he has pushed these guys to go beyond what they thought they were maybe capable of, I think they're going to continue to put the pressure on Belgium, and they're not going to revert just to defending and trying to protect the lead and allow Belgium to enter into the final third and serve balls in the box for Lukaku.
Chuck, I hope so. Love it. And guess what? I cannot wait to see you on Matchday, because we are heading to Tennessee, everybody, to Nashville. Make sure you join the Call It What You Want boys and myself. We will be there in Nashville, ready for kickoff. All the build-up, halftime and post-match reactions for the US men's national team, with Flo Balogun taking on Belgium.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, with the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
A massive Sunday of football. Just a reminder of what we've got ahead of us. 4 o'clock Eastern, it's Brazil with Norway at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Then later on, 8 o'clock, Thomas Tuchel's England will face Mexico and the home supporters at the Azteca. Good to have you with us, everybody. Welcome along. I'm Poppy Miller alongside Nigel Reo-Coker, Mike Lahoud and Marco Messina. What a day, boys. This is one of the most exciting days, I think, of football that we've had in the World Cup so far. Would you agree, Nige?
Yeah, some great games. Really, really good games. Talk about, obviously, Brazil, Norway, and then Mexico, England. can't ask for a better day of football.
So good that you forgot your England shirt.
Pardon?
You forgot your England shirt today.
I'm going to wear it when I watch it at home, in the comfort of my house. One minute you want to pull out your American passport, and then you want to wear an English shirt.
Tomorrow I'll pull the American passport out.
This is going to be the last time she's able to wear the jersey, because then Mexico's going to knock them out tonight, so she's got to...
I'm actually scared. Nigel was just showing me in the break, I think I'm going to get this England jersey. I said, you're a little bit late, Nige.
It's a baseball jersey.
It's got an England flag. It's got an England flag on it.
I'm confused. I'm confused, Nige. What? Because when England win, you're the full English.
No,
when England lose, you're British.
Don't try that with me.
Are you new to Nigel?
I've always been plain sailing. I've always been plain sailing for good football, and I give credit when credit's due. That's how I've been.
Okay. Well,
I haven't seen any Italian shirts if you over there.
Listen,
let's just leave that one alone there. I haven't seen no Italian shirts in New York.
But listen,
you were never in.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. We never made it. Troy feels good, though, by the way. He said 3-0 tonight, so you shouldn't be nervous.
Troy is in a boat
he said
on his own.
3-0 England.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think the better game will be this match today, Brazil-Norway, because it's really... Yes. Why are you making that face to me?
The better game?
The superstars that are on both of these teams just make it so exciting. I think it's going to be a game that has a lot of goals, and I think it's really split down the middle on who wins this. I could see it going either way, both for Brazil because of the star power that they have, but Norway, they're more than just Erling Haaland. I know everyone wants to just make it about him, but they have so many players on each side, haven't been in the tournament since 1998. Can they pull an upset? I feel like today it could be the day. And it might not be as big of an upset as you might think just by the names of the teams.
Couldn't you say the same for England-Mexico, though? You could see that realistically going either way?
Yeah, look, it's probably the most evenly matched I've seen a Mexico side go up against a European power. I know some people back in 2014 might disagree with that because I thought they went toe-to-toe with the Netherlands, and that's where we had the most controversial, or one of the most controversial penalties or dives we've seen at the World Cup as of late. But I can't wait to see how England and Thomas Tuchel, Harry Kane and everyone deals with the altitude, deals with the fans. It's going to be kind of a spectacle.
The fans won't really be a problem because you know how passionate Mexican fans are, and obviously playing at home is a massive advantage. It's the altitude. Altitude does give them a massive advantage over this England side.
How big is the altitude really, though? Or is it something now that's maybe got in the back of players' heads, even though they might not necessarily have felt it? I mean, you tell me, Nigel.
I mean, for me, you do feel it. If you're not used to it and not climatized to it, it does impact you.
Even when you've trained there for 3 days?
3 days still isn't long enough. You'd be very surprised. I'm telling you, when that game kicks off and everything, you talk about the fans and the atmosphere is going to be great, Mexico will smother them. If they're smart, they'll go after England, force them to make mistakes. And if they get a goal in that first 20, 30 minutes, then as players, automatically you think, oh, we've got to get back in it. So you're going to start trying harder in a climate that your body's not used to, and then you're going to be really struggling to get that second wind. It's going to be interesting, but it's a massive advantage.
Did you guys ever play altitude?
Yeah, I've actually played down in Mexico. The first ever professional season I did preseason in Mexico City and in Guadalajara. Guadalajara is at altitude. Most people don't think about it. Mexico City is another beast. Yeah. I've been down in Africa. I've been down in Johannesburg, which is higher than Denver, higher than Salt Lake City. What we're going to see tonight is going to be a real test of will from the England players, because there is nothing like this that they'll ever see.
What's it actually like? Is it that you can't breathe?
It's a lot of things. It's the recovery, the lack of oxygen you get, the sense of maybe you make the first 3 or 4 runs, and you've been there as well. When you make the first 3 or 4 sprints, after a while, it's a slow grind. It's a slow reel of the lack of recovery that you probably don't experience when you're playing a high-octane game in a local derby or a Premier League derby as well. The intensity that England, and also just how smart England are going to have to be, and when they go for it, that's what's going to decide the game.
I'm worried as well because England played in the Dallas Stadium and in Atlanta. Both of those are temperature controlled, which hasn't been the best build-up. But even just talking about the altitude makes me feel like I can't breathe. And the other worrying thing is the Harry Kane button going to work tonight, Nige?
Well, I mean, listen, Harry Kane does what he does, scores goals. He's probably the best striker in world football right now. But it's all the players need to step it up. The performances leading up there still haven't been great. It hasn't been a full 90 minutes solid work and solid performance from England. So it's going to be a good test. This is their probably toughest test, I would say, so far to date, without even talking about the altitude and everything else that comes with it.
Would it be a disappointment for England, do you think, to go out to Mexico, or is it because of the Azteca you can make an excuse?
I don't think you can make an excuse. I mean, the expectations for England have always been the reason why you got rid of Gareth Southgate, right? You went to 2 Euro finals, a semifinal of a World Cup was because he didn't win anything. So the expectation has to be to go all the way. it's coming home. That's why he was brought in, is to finally lift a trophy. So I think that it would be a disappointment, but it wouldn't be as shocking as you might think because of how Mexico have been, and that's credit to Mexico as well. Haven't conceded a goal. They're 100%. They won all 4 games, but we expect more from England. We still haven't seen the full performance. In the second half, you've needed to be bailed out by Harry Kane. I think without Harry Kane, you would have been out to DR Congo. You would have been out of the tournament already, and that's okay. A lot of teams are reliant on superstar players, but now is the business end. Now is where you actually need to see it. And hearing from you guys already, Poppy, you especially, that you're already sort of accepting the fate. It's weird. I haven't experienced this with England in quite some time. Usually the optimism is a lot higher than I felt that at this tournament. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you guys saying it's not coming home is good.
I think Troy also, for the first time, I kind of understood the Italian superstition, because Troy is very confident that England's going to get a result tonight. And I don't like him saying that, because it just makes me feel like we're not going to get a result.
I mean, listen, we've definitely got a chance. We've got the quality in the players. It's just if the players turn up. That's the big thing now. The players have to turn up and put the performance.
Do you think they look one-dimensional, England?
Yes, we do look very one-dimensional. Lack of ideas and lack of creativity. I think the wingers haven't been great, and most of the thing is they come inside, and it's very predictable. I think this game could be chaotic today, and it might benefit them. But like Michael Ahu said, and I remember playing at the Azteca, the same thing was, you have to be smart, because you are not climatized to it. You can't go gun-ho playing rock and roll football. You have to pick and choose your moment.
And hopefully they had a good night's sleep. It was 4th of July last night. Here we had all the fireworks. In Mexico, they had fireworks for a different reason outside the England hotel. What about the other game then, Norway and Brazil? You've got Erling Haaland, Vinny Jr. Which way are you leaning in this game, Mike?
Look, we have John Bucketsheimer in the house and in the building. I know that he's got a different opinion than I do, but I don't think we've seen the best from Brazil yet. I think today is going to be a day where the best is yet to come for Brazil, and they're finally going to have a coming out party. This Norway side, for as good as they are going forward, for as good and solid as they've been in midfield, the back line still worries me. This is a Brazil side with Vinny Jr. and some of the interesting lineup decisions that Carlo Ancelotti will have made today, that I think they're here to prove a point. This could be the statement game, and I think this will be the statement game that they need to send a message to the rest of the field that, hey, don't forget about us. We have the most World Cups in the history of the game, but they need to prove it on the pitch first.
Still waiting to see it, though, from Brazil. I'm still not 100% sold. Yeah, it's great that Vinny is back. They've tried to get Neymar involved. It feels like Ancelotti is the best man manager in the world, and he's put a group together that is going to fight, but they're going up against a Norway that's not scared of anyone. They were perfect in qualifying. They score so many goals, and I mentioned in the beginning that they are not reliant on Erling Haaland. I think the rest of the world just thinks that they are only Erling Haaland. Antonio Nusa showed it against Côte d'Ivoire in the last game, the talent that he has. Berg in the midfield. They are really good as a unit, and they don't care that Brazil's name is Brazil. I think a lot of teams are no longer scared. You used to lose to Brazil before you even stepped on the pitch. It's not that same Brazil anymore, so Norway has a huge chance tonight to make what would be an upset, and I genuinely think they could do it. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
No?
He's lost. Is this the first time you've been lost for words?
No, I'm listening. I like
think, Nigel?
Listen, I think, Norway are a good side. Don't get me wrong. But there is a massive element that is Erling Haaland that they're relying on. I don't care what anyone says. He's a big part of this Norway team. The goals that he scores, the physical presence, how when you come against an Erling Haaland, you can't really leave him 1v1. He's going to have to be taken care of by maybe 2 defenders at times. So that in itself will create space for other players. But I do agree with you. I think they're a good team. But I still feel Brazil will get it done. I think the only weakness I would say, about Brazil is, for me, that worries me is the midfield. It's not lack of quality in the midfield. It's lack of athleticism and dynamism to get around for like a full 90-minute game. Because the quality is there, but I think that is one of the big weaknesses for me in the Brazil
What about the fullbacks? The fullbacks don't worry you?
No, I think they're all right. I think the fullbacks are all right. I just think it's this midfield's a problem. If you look at how they've struggled to control games, or from the old Brazil, they used to dictate the play and the midfielders would slow it down and control it. They don't have as much control now. And then obviously, again, it's Erling Haaland versus Gabriel. The dual clash, I love it.
For that. Are you excited to see them together?
We don't have that much rivalries in football anymore of players or anything like that. This is a spicy one.
Do you think it is a true rivalry? Do you think they can't wait to meet each other? Because obviously, yes, we've seen them all season. Man City and Arsenal in the Premier League title race. This is spicy, especially now it's international knockout football.
Oh, this is going to be even more spicy. I love it. I can't wait. Because they genuinely, I don't think, really like each other. And it's very competitive. Hopefully it stays competitive in a nice way, but that's something that everyone's going to be talking about.
OK, well, we're looking forward to that. What about the lineups then? Let's have a look at the team news for this game, Brazil and Norway. Brazil, Ancelotti has gone for this 11, which looks pretty good.
Yeah, I queued it up and kind of gave the big reveal. Don't look at the top yet because there's some history on the cusp of being made. Alisson makes his 83rd cap, or earns his 83rd cap, which brings him level with Aldair, who won the World Cup. You might remember him, Marco. He was at Roma when they won the Scudetto as well back in 2001. Under Fabio Capello. But now it gets really interesting because Marquinhos and Gabriel, they will have to be at their absolute best to shackle up Erling Haaland, Alexander Sorloth, and this Norwegian attack that looks to be very efficient, very effective. In the midfield, this is where it gets really interesting. Casemiro has been kind of a liability in defensive transition. Bruno Guimaraes has been a revelation getting forward and getting assists, 4 assists to his name, which brings him level with Zico. Now, I'm interested to see if this is really Martinelli, who is the hero off the bench, starting in that number 10 role, or if it's going to be Vini or Mateus Cunha coming in centrally. I think it's going to be a free-flowing attack. I think you could see any one of those 3 players coming in, but don't be surprised if it's Vini Jr. playing in a free role. He's got 4 goals to his name, and like I said, this is one of the games where Vini has to step up.
And let's not forget, as much as Norway have Erling Haaland, Alisson is one of the top goalkeepers in the world. So as much as Haaland might get some chances, he's still got to beat one of the best goalkeepers in world football.
Speaking of Norway, they've got a great 11, and Ryerson missed the last 2 matches due to injury. He is back for Norway at right back today.
Yeah, and I think he's a perfect place for us to start because you could see Sorloth that starts as a right wing in this formation, the way we put it, but you will see Sorloth tuck in a little bit, and Ryerson will make those overlapping runs on the right side just to create that overload on the right, get those crosses in. Nigel alluded to the midfield battle, and I think that this is what makes this Norway team special. Odegaard already 3 assists, so creative. Could pick a pass better than anyone else in the world. And then there's Patrick Berg, the number 6, playing for Bodo Glimt. We watch him in the Champions League here on Paramount Plus. He was phenomenal, really brings the balance, as well as Sanderberg, who just allows it and is the guy that could allow them to defend, but also transition into the attack. Antonio Nusa showed his quality in the goal that he scored against Côte d'Ivoire, and I want to see him go after the fullbacks of Brazil because I think they are weak. And then Erling Haaland, what can we say about him? 5 goals already in this competition. He only really needs 1 chance to be clinical. He's that sort of striker. And the battle he'll be going up against with Gabriel is going to be one of the best that we see in the World Cup so far. So, again, just a lot of pieces to this Norway team, and can't wait to see the way that they play.
Hopefully lots of goals as well. Let's see what our friend Buckets thinks. Normally we're queuing him on Zoom, and guess what? He's here in studio today. It must be a big day if you're here, Buckets.
Wow.
Yeah. It's great to see you guys. Please, nobody tell Jimmy or Tony I am here. I'm avoiding them for a bet that I lost, so we're going to just ignore them as much as we can. But great to see you guys at the very least.
Buckets, good to have you.
Good to be here.
You're tall in person.
Yeah. I'm what in person?
You're tall.
I am tall.
It's because he's part Viking.
Yeah. Are you Erling Haaland size?
I'm trying to be. I had the hair slicked back and everything. It looks terrible now, but that doesn't matter. You don't care what I look like, right? You care about the bets. That's what we're here for.
Both.
So let's stop it. So let's break down my 3 favorite bets for this game. And I love what Lahoud already talked about for this first bet. Norway's defense is a problem. This is not a team that is going to sit back and be able to stop Brazil from scoring in any capacity. So if Norway want to win, they're going to have to press. So I'm going with both teams to score and over 2.5 here to get you to even money at plus 100. Bet number 2, it's the easy one. This has been a World Cup of chalk when it comes to player props. People are taking Messi, Mbappe, Haaland every single time because it's working. So why would you change it when something is hitting so consistently, especially when you're getting it at plus number? And then this is the one that's going to get me in trouble. Norway to advance. Ooh. I believe in the Viking brothers to get this job done. We're getting that at plus 215. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk. If you would rather take Norway to score 2 goals, you can get about the same value here. But I just don't trust this Brazil side. Not yet, at least. So I'm going to go with Norway to get the big upset. And that'll be the only upset of the day.
I like that. I like everything. I'm interested in Norway to advance. That's a really interesting one. But
I like that you said it's the only upset of the day. Does that mean you've got England to win?
While you're here, yes. It might change when other people are on the show.
Surely Mexico aren't the favourite.
His predictions have been amazing so far, by the way. He's been at the top of the table, the Golazo Network.
He's a man of the people, Pop. Remember that. He's a man of the people.
Top of the table.
Yeah, that means.
Buckets, you've been at the top of the table, no, in your predictions?
No, he's
the Golazo Network?
Oh, for the score predictions, yes. For the betting segments, it's been...
Oh, not as good?
The thing he's an expert on.
You said it.
Whatever
saying
the
that's my
narrative.
job.
Just
Don't
go
bring
with
that
it.
up. Just go back to
I
you
think he's
guys.
supposed to be an expert. He's not at the top of the table, but okay.
All right, good stuff, Buckets. Thanks so much. So Norway, they're going to have the fans behind them, as is Brazil. By the way, this is the meeting of two of the best fan bases at the World Cup. The row is in full swing. How cool is this for Norway fans?
Wow.
Did you just say the best?
One of.
What about the Scots?
And them.
They're out.
I know they're out, but
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. They're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Well, Brazil, they've won the World Cup a record 5 times. Today, they are going to go head-to-head with Norway at MetLife Stadium, hoping that they'll be back at MetLife in a couple of weeks' time for the World Cup final. But first, they've got to get past Erling Haaland. And joining us to look ahead to the match, former Brazilian midfielder Lucas Leiva is with us. Lucas, so good to see you again. First of all, where are you joining us from and what time is it? Because I'm hearing it's ridiculously early or late, one of the two.
Yes, good morning. Here is almost 4 o'clock in the morning, so
Wow.
I'm in China at the moment, but really looking forward to this game. You know, I think it's gonna be another big test for Brazil.
Early start for you. How confident are you feeling with Brazil, though, with what you've seen so far against Norway today, and as we've been talking about this afternoon, Erling Haaland?
Yes, Norway has the best striker in the world for sure. So it's something that Brazil will have to be really worried about, of course. But I expect Brazil, you know, with a lot of confidence after the win against Japan. It was a difficult win, but they, you know, they are becoming better every game. Norway, I don't think is a team similar to Japan in terms of attacking. I think they will not sit back. They will try to attack Brazil, which will probably leave some spaces for Brazil to explore. So that's why I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a very difficult game, but I'm hoping that Brazil can get the job done and get through it.
Lucas, talk to me about Ancelotti's influence. I know when he arrived, some people weren't always happy. He's more about the results than necessarily the jogo bonito that Brazil has had. How has that changed with the results that have happened in Brazil so far in this World Cup?
Of course, with wind, everything gets better, I would say. Of course, Brazil are playing a different way, especially we see a lot of people commenting about fullbacks, not attacking like Brazil used to have it. But Ancelotti is finding the best version of Brazil in this World Cup. And today, playing Martinelli, I think it was a very, very important message that he's going for attack. He's going to score goals and of course find that balance. But Ancelotti is, I think, he's the best man to lead Brazil to this championship, and I hope he does that.
Lucas, bom dia. I just want to ask you about Vini Jr. because it seems like when Carlo Ancelotti gets a hold of Vini Jr., he's a completely different player. You mentioned how significant the Martinelli move is, but how impressed have you been with Vini at this World Cup?
He has been the standout player for Brazil. I think on the difficult moments in the games, I think he has taken that responsibility, and he's done so well. I think he's growing. He still has a lot to improve, I think, because, he's a fantastic player, but he has been the standout player. I think he's a player that Brazil relies not only the goals, but to create chances and to open space for other players. So I think he's our best player at the moment, and I hope he continues improving and that force that takes him to score goals that is just getting better. So Vini, for me, has been doing a fantastic World Cup.
Lucas, you touched on the lineup. When you look at this team, what do you think is going to be the most important thing for Brazil? What's the key for them to win against Norway?
I think the choice by Martinelli, I think, will be a really important. The really important play will be Cunha. To be in a position that maybe, having these three front players, he likes to drop a little bit. So it's to be seen where he's going to be. If he will be as a 9 or as a 10. So Martinelli will be, on the left. I don't think so, because Vini Jr. will be there. So it will be interesting to see. Midfield, I think, has been, a position, a place in the team that has been lacking a little bit of balance. So I think midfield will be really important to win this game. And as we know, Norway has some fantastic players, in midfield, and not allow that Haaland to get that ball and have the chances, because Haaland don't need 3-4 chances. He only needs one to put the ball back in the net. So that will be really important for Brazil to find that balance.
Going back to the game against Japan, I know one player that was a big talking point was Neymar. We've only seen him play once at this World Cup, and he's the player that a lot of Brazilians, they just want to see a bit more. For you as a player, take us through, how significant would it be to be in a match like this and have a player like Ney come in and possibly change the game?
Yeah, we know Neymar, how good he is and how important he is for the national team. But he was coming back from an injury. He only had, a few training sessions before he played. So I think after a week of training and preparing himself, I think he is ready now to come on if he needs to. So it's really exciting, you know, if you need a player like Neymar to come on and change the game. I think he's fit now. His fit wise is a lot better. So I'm hoping to see him come on, and we know that he has the ability to change the game in one moment. So Neymar has to be around. He's a great player, you know, the top goal scorer of the history of the national team. So I'm sure he's ready to go now.
Lucas, what's your score prediction for today?
My score prediction is 3-1. I think it will be an open game. I don't think Norway will stand back, you know, defending. I think they will concede space for Brazil. But also Norway are very strong, you know, offensively with some fantastic players and of course Haaland. So, but I think Brazil will get chances, especially with this front four. I think Brazil will score 3. So I will go for 3-1.
And also, Lucas, are Brazil going to get the hexa?
Yeah, well, that's what we are hoping for. You know, it's. You know, I have to be honest, after the first game, we didn't think so. But, you know, as the game went on, we are getting more confidence. And that's really dangerous. When Brazil gets confidence, we really can do it. So we just hope that today will be another day that Brazil, you know, improves the way they are playing and win, because it will be so important for the Brazilian people.
I love it, Lucas. I'm glad that you actually spoke to him in the end. You were nervous, weren't you? Lucas, do you remember last time Nigel welcomed you in? He stuttered a little bit. CBS posted it on social media and everybody then jumped in and made fun of him. So I wasn't sure he was going to ask you a question today because he was nervous to speak.
Yes, Lucas, you made me go viral.
No, he's my... He is my friend, don't worry.
Yeah. There we go.
Don't be nervous now.
Lucas, thanks so much. Best of luck for Brazil, and I hope you get some sleep tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody, stay with us. We're going to be back in just a second.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Well, Erling Haaland's first World Cup would have gone as he hoped so far. 3 games, 5 goals and a run into the round of 16, just 25. But he is across club football, tearing up the record books. Look at the numbers that he has put up, even with Norway, the Terminator. Third player in history to score a goal in his first 3 World Cup appearances. He's obviously led Norway back to their first World Cup in almost 3 decades, which is so impressive. He scored a goal as well, by the way, against 26 different nations. You know what's been really fun to see across America is, okay, yes, everybody knows Mbappe, Ronaldo, Leo, Messi. I feel like the world has been introduced internationally to Erling Haaland, right?
100%. I've been doing a lot of interviews around America. And after Messi and Ronaldo, and I'll put Mbappe there, everyone asks about Erling Haaland. There's obviously the goals and him always being in the media, what he's done at Manchester City and in the Champions League plays a part. But I think it's also the character that Haaland is. You don't see it very often. I think football players now, they're trying to be somebody else. They put on a persona. He's authentically himself. And it's phenomenal to see him now doing it on the world stage, because there's been a lot of great players that sometimes for the country that they represent, they don't get to come to the World Cup. So the fact that he is at the World Cup is amazing to see that he's doing it on the world stage as well.
We get to see the quirkiness and how unique he is, obviously, with Manchester City, and even through his rise of domestic football. What makes him so special, though, for you, Mike?
He's ruthless, and he's an homage to the old school footballer, the old school strikers that we don't really see nowadays. And he's a different striker than your Harry Kane. He's a different striker than your modern striker, who likes to drop, who likes to be more technically sound, who likes to get extra touches. He's the epitome of efficiency in the final third. To have the number of goals he has, to have as little a touch in the build-up as we see with Manchester City, as we saw against Cote d'Ivoire with Norway, he puts in the work on both sides of the ball, but in the box, in the final third, he is an absolute killer, and that's what makes him special. And he's a goal machine, and we've seen it at the World Cup.
He's a goal scorer, and I think also for the fans to understand. Let me just give you an idea. Come at our betting expert, Buckets. Buckets is 6 foot. Come here.
Oh, come by. Stand next to the shortest person on set.
This is how tall Erling Haaland is, and obviously add athleticism to it as well. This is how much of a monster he is. Obviously, Buckets isn't as athletic, so he can get lost now. Thank you, Buckets.
For context, Nigel, you're what, 5'5"?
I am 5'10". Do not play with me. I am 5'10". But thank you again, Buckets. Sorry, playing. But yeah, so Buckets is 6'4". Erling Haaland is 6'4".
He was about to say Jimmy. Jimmy Conrad.
He's a physical specimen, though, because there's one thing being that tall, but he is so athletically gifted and so unique in what he does. So for the modern-day footballer, he's not your average footballer. He is beyond that, and he's so gifted athletically-wise, and he's got happy feet, whether he gets involved with the player or not. But he's a clinical finisher and he's a goal scorer when it comes to doing his job.
Would you like to be a teammate of his and join in that kind of celebration with him?
I will join in it with him because I think the lads were spot on in assessing his personality. He's authentic. Yeah. That's the thing about him. Even for as big as a superstar he is in the footballing terms, he is just so authentic and true to himself, doesn't try to be someone or something he's not. He stays authentic to himself, which is why I'm not surprised so many people are gravitating to him, because you're getting the real him, not a PR team around him, protecting this and that. Very authentic, and that's what football fans want.
Well, a lot of Erling Haaland lovers out there will already know just some of the antics that he gets to off the pitch, but we're going to show you some of Erling Haaland's very finest moments. Let's have a look at what we're going to start with. This tweet, he spelled Orlando wrong, then he put this on Snapchat, by the way, not even allowed to write something wrong now in this perfect world. Sorry to all the perfect brothers and sisters out there. He's so funny. He's so cheeky, isn't he? People have had hats made of this. They've done all sorts of merchandise as well. He's a big milk drinker as well. He likes raw milk. Yeah.
He showed it off on his YouTube channel. He shows like where he gets it from with the lady that like makes it for him. So
it's crazy though, because John Carew, who I played with, obviously played for Norway as well, was quite an imposing figure. I was big as him. he always used to say he used to drink raw milk as a kid. He used to drink so much milk as a kid, and John Cruz, a bigger mountain as well.
So kids drink your milk. I'm not a big milk fan. This is a bit icky to me.
Well, he's from Norway as well, so the food quality there is
and the steak he makes. He's like grilling steak every night in his backyard. He has like a whole video on like exactly what he eats. So
he's an amazing follow. If you don't follow him on social media, you might have seen him on the music scene as well, because he's a bit of a rapper.
What?
Oh, there's the grill you were talking about. This was from quite a while ago.
His these days is a little bit nicer.
Wow, Flow Kings.
So he does all sorts of. Could you call them music videos?
That I think we could leave in the past.
This was in his younger days. Younger days.
He's also had quite a few viral moments, hasn't he, just for doing everyday normal things?
Kind of crazy how much content we're having of these players these days, because everyone's got like a phone now, so we're seeing behind the scenes that we've never been able to see before.
You know what's really been surreal with him in particular? You see how much buy-in he has into tapping into American culture, whether it be doing things like this in his younger days. But I saw a video recently of him even putting on cowboy boots. And of course, this is the big moment.
So he's got over $100,000 worth. I think they're about $30,000 each for a Birkin bag. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, Nige. You've got some now? Birkin bags?
I don't have no Birkin bags.
Who's got more Birkin bags? You said that you have multiple.
I don't have Birkin bags.
Who has them in the house?
Someone close to me has Birkin bags.
That he bought. So
talk about Poppy.
Are they about $30,000?
Depends. Those ones, the big ones that he has, yes. The standard regular Birkin used to get about, well, they did.
He knows. He knows.
They're a bit, but I'm not saying.
I think your credit card just fell out when you just tried to
No, just like, I think they're roughly $28,300.
The big ones are a little bit more.
The big ones are a lot more.
The biggest thing is they go up in value.
They go up in value, yes. They're going to pay some
investment.
college funds.
If you ever sell them. Erling Haaland, though, he likes to wear his own style, doesn't he? Even there is a perfect kind of depiction. The man bun, the bag.
It's a statement piece, isn't it? Because when we started playing, when we were first playing, it was Louis Vuitton. Then it's gone from Louis Vuitton, and now these players now, like you said, access with social media, big followings, it all goes hand in hand with marketing and brands, and they want that exclusive stuff. And if you're getting Birkins like that, you're very exclusive.
You tap into different subcultures.
Could you imagine, by the way, if Nigel had an Instagram when he was playing?
Oh.
First of all, he'd have a social media manager, because he has one now.
He'd get banned.
Would have been scary.
Thanks, everybody.
Tackles, Nige, for the tackles you made.
What do you mean get banned? I can adapt.
Okay.
Don't ever put me in a box. I'm out the box.
You make Poppy do all of your Instagram posts. You can't even add a song on his own.
That's absolutely irrelevant to what we're talking about now. But anyway.
I could post whatever I want on there. In fact, good idea. I might. So Erling Haaland, he has captured the world's hearts, really, hasn't he, at this World Cup, along with all the Norwegian fans and their iconic row. You can watch Erling Haaland as well, as a reminder, next season on Paramount Plus in the Champions League with Manchester City. And then, of course, the Carabao Cup as well. Manchester City will look to win it back-to-back seasons after they won it all at Wembley last season, and they'll go into the third round, and that's coming up for you in September. So we'll see much more of Erling Haaland next season.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?